All right, guys, we're back. You know, the shop update at the beginning of the video, like usual. Got our Lexus banner, got a Snap-on banner up there, got a RAV4 in for some maintenance, a Lexus GX 470. Yeah, it's 470. It's getting airbag delete, swapping it to coil springs in the rear, taking out the height control in the front, doing regular Bilsteins up front, bunch of maintenance, valve covers, a lot of stuff. It's got 178K and it's clean as a whistle. Got a radiator put in. We have a, I think it's an 05 Land Crusher, 199K. Wants a full look over. I mean, this thing is sweet. Got a, I think it's an ARB awning on the side, roof rack, some Schley off-road stuff. Got these big terminals, or Slee, I think, not Schley, Slee. Nice bumper on it. We're gonna look at that first thing Monday morning. We've been getting a lot of traction. That's been awesome. So thank you to everyone who's been supporting and coming to the shop and whatnot. We also got a Toyota banner up there, but yeah, things are going great. This is awesome. Really happy I made the switch versus staying at the dealer. So yeah, please continue the support. I really appreciate it. And on to video. All right, guys, this video has been requested bunch of times. I can't tell you how many times when I say leave comments, suggestions, etc., that I get messages saying to make this video. So without further ado, here it is. And disclaimer, this doesn't cover everything you need, but it is a good bulk of it, and I don't have everything laid out here on my cart, and I'm going to try to actually make this one pretty quick because it's hot as fuck out today, so Texas things. But this is basically a Toyota technician tool video, the basics of everything you need to work on Toyotas for the most part. Granted, there are various other things. If you're a diagnostic technician, you need a mongoose cable, different pullers, etc., depending on your skill level, experience, if you're in the rust belt or not. Luckily, I'm not in the rust belt, so that's that. So, excuse me, allergies. It's been raining on and off here, and then it's hot and all that. So we'll just start with these ratchets in the front so I can get them up out of the way. This big boy, 1/2-inch ratchet. And again, you don't have to buy Snap-on, you don't have to buy Matco. Buy whatever you want, what you like, what works for you. This is just what I've had and what I've used over the last almost 10 years. So this guy, I mean, when you get brake caliper bolts on like Tundras and stuff, suspension bolts, crank bolts, stuff like that, this guy is super awesome. I know it's not a breaker bar, and people will argue you need a breaker bar. I don't care. I use this as a breaker bar. I've never had it break. It's strong, lifetime warranty. It does the job, and you're gonna need it. You're gonna need a ratchet this size. It's a must-have. And the next ratchet is 3/8, and it's the long 3/8 from Snap-on, and this is what I use for some brakes, some suspension stuff. You always gotta look at your torque spec. So obviously a 3/8 isn't going to do a 200 torque spec bolt. You know, axle nuts, those things are, 175 to 250, give or take. I don't have them memorized. I usually look them up. But these guys come in super handy. Like if you have a bolt that's super stuck, but it's not big enough for 1/2-inch, grab this guy. Obviously, if this thing's bending, flexing, you need to go up to 1/2-inch. The biggest, or the number one cause of broken 3/8 is using it on things you shouldn't be using 3/8 on. But this thing's super awesome. It's great to use. If you have spark plugs out of an engine and it's a tight area like a 4-cylinder, you can just put this between the firewall and there and get like a, a stubby socket, turn the engine over. So that's super helpful. This length 3/8, I don't really like the ones that are about this length. I like this size. It's my go-to all-purpose 3/8 ratchet. Oil changes, spark plugs, brakes, you name it, anything. Again, I have a Snap-on one, I have a Matco, I have all brands. Y'all know that. But buy what you like. I will say the Matco has the best locking design. I don't really use it locked ever, so that's kind of preference, but they do a very slim head, and I like black and purple. Next one is a pretty pretty good for Toyotas. There was a recall that this came in handy on. I can't remember what it was, We've done recalls in so long. But it's a 1/4 inch ratchet. I wanted to do green handle. I mean, people do it with just regular chromes or what have you. You can do it however you want, but it's got a 3/8 anvil. I know a lot of people make it. Koken makes one about this size with a 3/8 anvil in it, and that would work too, but gotta have a 3/8 and a 1/4 inch body. That's a must have for Toyotas. And then moving on, 1/4 inch ratchets. I like this size from Koken. It's their new 72 tooth. It's a good one. And then a very, very stubby 1/4 inch. These come in handy on interior work. If you're using bits, bit sets, etc. Those are great to have. Clip tool. That's pretty self-explanatory. You need a clip tool. Pliers. Now you can buy Cobras, you can buy plier sets, all that. But honestly, these are the LN47 ACFs and the Knipex twin grips. These are really the only pliers I use anymore. So these 2 pliers. These are probably the last ones you use. 2 good sets of pliers. Granted, there's going to be long, curved needle nose. There's going to be certain situations. Again, this is a broad spectrum video. This socket. 24 millimeter, 3/8 drive, shallow. Differentials, rear diffs, transfer cases, stuff like that. If you're doing maintenance, this is super handy. And this also fits on that oil filter back there, or oil filter cup. So this is very universal, very handy. 3/8 drive, shallow 24 quarter. Been a long day. This guy, spark plug sockets. Toyota uses a 5/8 or a 16, and then they also use a 14 6-point on Corollas, Priuses, some newer stuff. I got 2 locking extensions. I have my Koken one on my 14 because they're usually slimmer applications. So I just slide that in, break it free, use my electric ratchet, pull it out. And then on my 5/8, you usually have tighter areas, so I keep a swivel joint on it, locked in to a locking 6-inch. So now I have a universal spark plug. You can buy universal spark plug sockets. I went through a multitude of spark plug sockets, so I found some I liked. This one's a snap-on magnetic. I have a Koken with clips I really like, but don't use your impact on it, you'll break it. Ask me how I know. And I know I'm going really fast this time, guys. It's hot. I want to go home. You know the drill. Excuse me. There's some water. Sorry about that. That's another thing. You got to have a cup like this. A big cup keeps drinks cold. It gets hot in the summer. You need to stay hydrated. That's very, very crucial. So I have a mini fridge at the shop. I had it at the dealer too. And I would always keep that in the mini fridge, after I drank my morning energy drink, Bang, coffee, whatever the fuck you drink, I don't care. And then I switched to water the rest of the day. So a cup, put a koozie on it, that's essential. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. It's essential. Wrenches, obviously a good set of combination wrench, that goes without saying. A good set of ratcheting wrenches. Toyotas, you only really need 8, 10, 12, 14, 17, 19, 21, 22, 24, 27, 30, 32. Across the board, any drive size, any wrench, those are the only sizes you'll need on a Toyota. But I like to have full sets because you will work on used cars at a dealership. So having those other sizes is helpful. So get a good set of ratcheting wrenches. I have the Snap-on Flank Drive Plus ratcheting. It's got the same gear as the ratchets. These things are badass. Get a good set of ratcheting wrenches. They'll save your ass. Now, as far as Toyota's concerned, these 3 wrenches, again, having all the sets is great, but these are your most common ones. 1214 offset box, 0 degree. If you're taking fans off, you got to hold the fan on one side, usually a screwdriver or a pry bar, and then you slide this in there and you break the fan bolts loose. This is super handy. And then the 14 you can use for oil changes. So that's kind of a dual purpose. This is same concept as that. It's just got a 15 degree offset. Sometimes you can get that in there. Same concept, fans, anything you really need to reach. This one, 2224 double offset, 0 degree, or double box, 0 degree offset, whatever. 22, I use this for alignment on Tundras, Sequoias, not RAV4s, 4Runners, Tacomas, anything with cam eccentrics. And then the 24 is for, this is actually what I use for differentials. I know I said this socket, but since getting this, I use this for differentials, transfer cases, fluid services, etc. So those wrenches are essential. Those Matco double flex ratcheting versions of these, I use those all the freaking time. 100% worth it. You buy it from whoever you want, but those are almost as essential as those. Fuel line tool, I believe this is, there's a part number, I want to say it's 3/8, maybe, I don't remember. This uses for fuel lines and then AC clamshell, well, some AC clamshells. This socket is awesome. It's from Snap-on. It's a long universal 10 mil. They have it in 12 and 8, which is all you'll need for Toyotas. Valve covers on Tundras. You can get back in there with your impact and just whoop. I'm gonna go a little closer now that we got the bulk of that out of the way. I got an array of sockets up here. Obviously, your 3/8 drive, deeps, shallows. If you're just starting out, get impacts because you're not going to need the clearance of chromes right away, and you could throw them on an impact and not have to worry about it. These are the Koken Z series. I love these sockets. You need a good set of 3/8 drive, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. That's kind of standard for any dealership, so that's why I only have one set out here, but good sockets, good warranty. That is crucial because you will break them. They all break. You will break them. Good set of universals. I got the Mac USAs that are my favorite. Good set of universals. Some people just buy the sizes that they need for their manufacturer, but most of the time it ends up being cheaper to buy those whenever they're on sale. This is kind of a Toyota specific. 30 mil, 12-point axle nut, and a D-stake tool. Mac sells this. It's like $50 for the kit. You'll need that. Inspection mirror. Good pocket screwdriver. Now I say good. The free ones off the truck do well, but invest in a good sturdy one. I use the hell out of this. It's my most used tool out of everything I own. Wheel sockets are a must. I like the Koken ones. I like how they're extended so you can get into certain wheels without scratching them. Good set of wheel sockets with the protector sleeves. Trust me, customers will lose their shit if you scratch a wheel. Rightfully so. But I mean, it is a total clusterfuck. Hub scrubber. These are pretty awesome to use. You should clean your hubs. I've seen those go on cockeyed and cause brake pulsations, vibrations, whatever. Clean your hubs. Now, Toyota guys, 43 millimeter 12-point Tundra axle nuts, 2022 and up. Again, if you're not on the line, you probably don't need this. But for the guys who are on the line doing those more frequently, you're gonna need one of these. Koken makes it. It's like $38. So grab that. Good set of pry bars. Various sizes. You will use the hell out of pry bars. Good set of pry bars is a must. And then this oil filter cup, Blue Point. There's part number. This is the best oil filter cup on the market for Toyotas. 100%. I've used a bunch. They used to call this the frozen oil filter cup. It's the best. Plain and simple. I like to use a 1/2 inch about this big because Jiffy Lube always over tightens it. And then a little 3-inch extension. So I just keep that in my cart just like that, ready to go. Was it hood strut holder? Self-explanatory. Wheel stud installer. You will do wheel studs. Express lube will break them. That's just how it goes. Inspection light. I like this one from Icon. Battery life sucks, but it does its job. So good inspection light. Gloves are a must. Buy a set of gloves like this for tires, suspension, brake work, because it's way cheaper than going through rubber gloves. These two ratchets aren't really a necessity, but I'm going to include them. It's a super long flex head, 1/4 inch. One's a Matco, one's Snap-on. These are super great for interior work, hard to reach areas. If you're on the line, add one of these to your toolbox. If you're in the lube bay, you don't need to worry about that yet. A good electronic caliper, measuring brake rotors. If you're on the line and doing valves, clearances, shims, if you're doing differentials, good set of calipers, gonna be measuring stuff. Now, the last few things are gonna be more tailored towards the upper level guys, all that. 10 millimeter deep magnetic. I use this a lot. This is very helpful. Interior, exterior, whatever. Definitely invest in one of those. You don't really need a lot of Torx or Allens, but 5 millimeter Allen T30 Torx, probably your most common, but just buy a good set of the basics, Torx and Allens. You'll use those. And then now this 10 millimeter chrome 1/4 inch universal. This gets used a lot. This is actually my mentor's. This one is the one I chose, was the Koken nut grip. You'll use the hell out of those, especially on the interior work or hard to reach areas. Coolant funnel. Coolant funnel is a must. You're going to be doing fluid services, you need a coolant funnel, plain and simple. Now the stuff in the back, my long neck ratchets, my DeWalt cordless impact, and then this snap-on brake bleeder. If you're doing fluid services, snap-on brake bleeder. I know most people have BG machines, Winds machines, Mach, whoever you have, but if you're at a big dealership, instead of waiting for someone to be done with the machine, I invested in that. I use that more than the machine in my career, so I don't have to wait for anyone. I just pull that out of my toolbox, go. It does the same thing. It's vacuum. It's a brake bleeder. Invest in it. You can get them on sale for like 120 bucks, give or take. It's been like a lot of years since I bought it. And now as far as the impacts go, you need a good 1/2-inch impact. Air, cordless, whatever you want to purchase. Obviously, air is going to be cheaper. Shop air is good, but get a good 1/2-inch. Don't get a stubby. Don't do any of that to begin with. Get a good 1/2-inch because you will use the hell out of it. Tires, suspension work, crank bolts if you have an engine out. Obviously, if the radiator and stuff's in and you're doing it in car, you're going to need a stubby. That's way later down the line, but that is a necessity. Again, maybe not cordless. I prefer cordless, but good 1/2-inch is a necessity. A good 3/8. I would say get a 3/8 cordless over a 1/2-inch. Get a 1/2-inch air, 3/8 cordless, good to go. Electric ratchets, they make your life easy. I love them. But remember, don't invest in power tools in the beginning. Invest in your hand tools, invest in the stuff you need as your daily. I mean, all of this stuff on this table on the first video was thousands of dollars. And that sounds like a lot, but get a cheap roll cart, get good tools, make sure the cart locks. Then you can get your box. Then you can upgrade. So that's pretty much all you need. There's one more thing, and I'm going to take you over to my box because I just used it earlier. If you're a Toyota guy, get one of these Mac, other people make them, Toyota funnels. Those things are awesome. Those are lifesavers. But that's pretty much all you need to work on Toyotas for the most part. Again, there's a bunch of other stuff that I use, but as y'all see, I do a lot more than your basic fluid services or whatever. I do heavy line, do suspension, aftermarket stuff, all that. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. I said this has been requested a lot, so there you go.